Alan Carter moved through the dark water with practiced ease. The pressure at this depth would crush most people, but his special diving suit kept him safe. He was exploring an area near the Mariana Trench that no human had visited before. His flashlight cut through the darkness, revealing strange fish and unusual rock formations. Then something caught his eye. A faint blue glow came from between two large rocks. Alan swam closer. "Base, are you seeing this?" he asked into his radio. "We see it, Alan," said Olivia Nash from the research ship above. "What do you think it is?" "Not sure. Doesn't look natural." Alan reached the glowing object. It was smooth and metallic, about the size of a football, with strange markings carved into its surface. The blue light pulsed gently, almost like it was breathing. "I'm going to touch it," Alan said. "Be careful," Olivia warned. Alan stretched out his gloved hand and gently touched the object. Immediately, his mind filled with visions. Stars rushing past, strange planets with multiple suns, cities made of crystal, beings with shapes he couldn't understand. The visions came so fast he gasped, pulling his hand away. "Alan, are you okay?" Olivia's voice sounded worried. "I'm fine," he said, breathing hard. "But this thing, it showed me something. Space. Aliens. I think it's not from Earth." "Bring it up." Carefully. Alan placed the object in a sample container and began his ascent to the surface. Back on the research vessel, Alan handed the container to Peter Wright, the team's physicist. "It's still glowing," Peter said, placing the object on a scanner. "And look at this, it's emitting a signal. Weak, but definitely directed toward deep space." Olivia looked at the readings. "It's like it's talking to someone. Or something," Alan added. The three scientists worked through the night, running tests on the strange object. By morning, they knew it wasn't made of any material found on Earth. The markings appeared to be a language, but unlike any known to humans. "We need to report this," Olivia said. "This is first contact material." Within hours, government officials arrived by helicopter. A stern woman named Susan Miller led them. She wore a black suit and showed credentials from a department Alan had never heard of. "We'll be taking the artifact now," she announced. "All your research notes, too." "Wait," Alan protested. "We found it. We should continue studying it." "This is a matter of national security," Susan said. "Your involvement is over." Peter moved to block her path. "At least tell us what you know about it." Susan's face remained blank. "We know nothing. That's why we need to study it in a secure facility." As they argued, no one noticed the object's glow growing brighter. Suddenly, it floated up from the table, spinning slowly in the air. Everyone stopped talking. A beam of light shot out from the object, forming a three-dimensional image in the center of the room. The image showed stars, galaxies, and strange symbols that moved and changed. Then the symbols rearranged themselves, forming words in English. "Humanity has been chosen. The trials begin." The words hung in the air for a moment before the light vanished. The object dropped back to the table with a soft thud. "What trials?" Olivia whispered. Susan Miller's professional demeanor cracked. "This changes everything." She pulled out her phone and moved to the corner of the room. Alan looked at Peter and Olivia. "I think we just became part of something much bigger than us." "But chosen for what?" Peter wondered. Alan remembered the visions he saw when he first touched the object. "I think we're about to find out. And I don't think we have a choice in the matter." Outside, the night sky seemed different to Alan now. Not empty space, but full of unknown watchers, waiting. 3 months passed since Alan found the strange object. Life almost returned to normal. The government took the artifact, and everyone was told to keep quiet about what happened. Alan went back to his marine research, but he couldn't forget the visions he saw when he touched the object. He was eating breakfast at his small apartment when the TV suddenly turned on by itself. All channels showed the same image. massive ships in the sky above every major city on Earth. "This is not a drill," said the news reporter, her voice shaking. "Unknown vessels have appeared in orbit around Earth. Military forces worldwide are on high alert." Alan's phone rang. It was Olivia. "Are you seeing this?" she asked. "Yes," Alan replied. "Do you think it's connected to the artifact?" "The government thinks so." Susan Miller called. "They want us at the lab right away." An hour later, Alan and Olivia sat in a conference room with Peter, Susan, and several military officers. A large screen showed the ships hovering silently above cities around the world. "They're broadcasting a message on all frequencies," Susan said, "but it's in a language we can't understand." Alan felt a strange sensation in his head. Words formed in his mind that weren't his own thoughts. "I can understand them," he said suddenly. Everyone turned to look at him. "What are they saying?" Susan asked. "They call themselves the Galactic Conclave. They've been watching us for centuries. They say—" Alan paused, trying to make sense of the information flooding his mind. "They say humans have qualities they haven't seen in any other species in the cosmos." "What qualities?" Olivia asked. "They don't say exactly, but they're inviting Earth to participate in something called the Contest of Sovereigns. It's a competition between different species. The winner gets to rule the next cosmic cycle." General Frank Adams, the highest-ranking military officer present, stood up. "Sounds like a trap. They want to lure us into some game so they can destroy us." "No," Alan said. "There's more. If we refuse to participate, Earth will be marked as a non-sentient development zone. We'll lose our right to make decisions about our own planet. So we either play their game or surrender our freedom." Susan asked. "That's what they're saying." The room grew quiet as everyone considered the situation. A new voice came from the doorway. "Then we play." A woman in a business suit walked in. She introduced herself as Maria Gonzalez, a diplomat who specialized in difficult negotiations. "We need to send representatives," she said. "People who can show what humanity is capable of." "You mean contestants?" Peter asked. "Yes, our best people." Susan nodded. "Alan must go. He can understand their language." "I'll go too," Olivia volunteered. "We'll need someone who can learn to communicate with different species." General Adams selected Jack Howard, a decorated soldier known for his quick thinking in dangerous situations. Maria would join to handle diplomatic matters. They also chose Ben Lewis, an engineer who could understand alien technology. As they discussed the details, a beam of light shot down from one of the ships, landing in the middle of Washington, D.C. A tall, slender being appeared. It had pale blue skin and eyes that seemed to change color. On screens around the world, the alien spoke, its words automatically translating into all human languages. "I am Zeth Kor of the Galactic Conclave. Humanity has shown promise among the stars. You have been chosen to prove your worth in the Contest of Sovereigns. Your representatives will join us in 7 days. Choose wisely, for they carry the future of your world." The message ended. The alien vanished. Alan looked at the team being assembled. 5 humans against the best the galaxy had to offer. "Do we have any chance at all?" he asked Maria quietly. She gave him a small smile. "We're about to find out." Alan felt his stomach turn as the transport beams surrounded the human team. 1 second they were standing on Earth. The next, they were in a vast, circular room with walls that seemed to be made of light. The air smelled different, clean, but with a hint of something like cinnamon. "Everyone okay?" Jack asked, his hand resting on his sidearm. The military had insisted they bring weapons, though Alan doubted they would help against beings who could travel between stars. "I think so," Maria said, looking around with wide eyes. "This is incredible." A door appeared in the wall and a small creature walked in. It stood about 3 feet tall with feathery skin and large, round eyes that blinked sideways. It had 4 arms and walked on 2 bird-like legs. "Welcome to Conclave Hub, The creature said in a high musical voice, "I am Trill, assigned to guide Earth Team. Follow, please." They walked through hallways that curved and twisted in ways that made Alan feel slightly dizzy. Through windows, they saw space stretching out forever. The Conclave Hub was a massive space station, bigger than any city on Earth. So many stars, Ben whispered, his engineer's mind clearly trying to understand how the station was built. Trill led them to a large open area filled with creatures of all shapes and sizes. Some looked almost human. Others were so strange Alan couldn't understand how they were even alive. "This is common ground," Trill explained. "All species meet here. 12 teams compete in contest." A group of tall, reptilian beings with scaled skin and sharp teeth noticed the humans and laughed. At least, Alan thought it was laughter. It sounded like rocks grinding together. "What are they?" Olivia asked. "Dracari Imperium," Trill said quietly. "Very powerful. Win many contests. Not friendly." The largest Dracari walked over to the humans. Up close, he stood nearly 8 feet tall. Gold armor covered his chest, and a scar ran down one side of his face. "So these are the primitives," he said in perfect English. "I am Commander Vexinar. Remember my name, humans. It will be the last thing your species hears before we take ownership of your little world." Jack stepped forward. "We'll take our chances." Vexinar laughed again. "Your species doesn't even understand what is happening. The Conclave has watched your kind crawl from the mud for thousands of years. You were chosen as entertainment, nothing more." Maria put a hand on Jack's arm before he could respond. "We appreciate your welcome, Commander. We look forward to learning from all species here." The Dracari's eyes narrowed. "Diplomacy will not save you here." He walked away, his followers close behind. "Not make Dracari angry," Trill warned. "Very dangerous." "What exactly are these trials?" Ben asked, trying to change the subject. Trill guided them to a holographic display showing 5 symbols. 5 trials test different qualities: intelligence, courage, compassion, resourcefulness, leadership. Each trial eliminate weakest teams until final challenge. Elan noticed other groups watching them. One group seemed to be made entirely of light. Another looked like floating crystals that changed color as they moved. "Those are luminals," Trill explained, pointing to the light beings. "And crystal ones are axiom-mind. Both very smart, very old species." "When do the trials begin?" Olivia asked. "Opening ceremony tonight. First trial tomorrow. Should rest now." Trill showed them to their quarters, a simple room with 5 sleeping platforms and a window looking out at the stars. After Trill left, Alan took out the small piece of the artifact he had secretly broken off before the government took it. It glowed softly in his hand. "I didn't know you had that," Olivia said. "It's been helping me understand their language," Alan explained. "But there's something else. I think this artifact was put on Earth on purpose. It's like a key or token to qualify us for the contest. So someone wanted us here," Jack said. "Question is, are they helping us or setting us up?" "Either way," Maria said, "we represent Earth now. We can't fail." Ben looked out at the countless stars. No pressure or anything. The next morning, Trill led the human team to a large dome structure. Inside, representatives from all 12 competing species gathered around a central platform. A tall, robed figure with 6 arms stood in the middle. "That is head judge," Trill explained. "Very important in Conclave." The head judge raised all 6 arms. "Welcome to the first trial. Today we test intelligence and problem solving. You will enter a pocket dimension where physics constantly change. Your goal is to reach the center. How you do this is up to you." A series of doors appeared around the room, one for each team. "Good luck, Earth Team," Trill said. "We'll wait here." As they approached their door, Alan noticed Vexinar watching them. The Dracari commander made a cutting motion across his throat. "Friendly guy," Jack muttered. The 5 humans stepped through their door, and found themselves in what looked like a forest. But everything was wrong. Trees grew sideways. Water flowed up instead of down. The sky was green. "This is incredible," Ben said, touching a leaf that turned to glass at his touch. "The laws of physics are completely different here." Olivia pointed to a glowing blue light in the distance. "That must be the center we need to reach." They started walking toward the light, but soon hit an invisible wall. "Now what?" Jack asked, tapping the barrier. Olivia studied the environment. "The rules are different here. Maybe we can't just walk straight to it." She picked up a stone and threw it at the barrier. Instead of bouncing off, the stone turned into a butterfly and flew away. "I think I get it," she said. "This place operates on dream logic, not physical laws. We need to think differently." Under Olivia's guidance, they began experimenting. They discovered that speaking words backward made them float. Singing caused plants to create bridges. Jumping while holding hands let them pass through solid objects. With each new zone they entered, the rules changed again. Sometimes gravity reversed. Sometimes they had to think in colors instead of words. "The Drakari aren't doing well," Ben observed, pointing to where they could see the reptilian team smashing their way forward, destroying everything in their path. "They rely on strength," Maria said, "but this trial needs flexibility." Meanwhile, the crystal axiom mines seemed to glide through effortlessly, changing their form to match each new environment. Hours passed as the human team worked together to solve the ever-changing puzzles. When Jack got frustrated, Maria calmed him down. When Ben got too analytical, Olivia helped him see the imaginative solutions. Alan's connection to the artifact fragment sometimes gave him hints about what might work next. "Look," Alan pointed as a new bridge formed, leading directly to the central light. "I think we're close." They crossed the bridge and found themselves in a simple room with the blue light floating in the center. As they approached, Alan realized the light was similar to the glow from the artifact he had found on Earth. Ben created a container using materials from his pack. "If we all touch it together, maybe we can secure it." The five joined hands and reached for the light. As they touched it, the room disappeared, and they found themselves back in the main dome. The head judge looked surprised. "Earth team finishes third." Unexpected. Cheers and murmurs spread through the watching aliens. The Axiom Mind had finished first, followed by the Luminals. But the humans had beaten 9 other species, including some with technology thousands of years more advanced than Earth's. Vexenar stormed over to them, his scales flaring with anger. "Impossible. You cheated." "We adapted," Olivia replied calmly. "Something your people seem to struggle with." The Drakari commander leaned close to Alan. "You are playing a game you don't understand, human. There are forces at work here beyond your comprehension. Enjoy your small victory. It will be your last." As Vexenar walked away, Jack grinned. "I think we made him mad." "Good," Maria said. "Angry competitors make mistakes." Trill bounced excitedly on his bird-like feet. Earth team did very well. Many Conclave members talking now. No one expected humans to finish so high. Alan looked at his teammates. 1 trial down, 4 to go. "And we just showed the galaxy that humans aren't to be underestimated," Ben added. The human team got 1 day to rest before the second trial. They spent it learning about the other competitors from Trill. The more they learned, the more they realized how different each species was. "Tomorrow is Compassion Trial," Trill told them as they ate strange but tasty food in the common area. "Very important to Conclave." "What exactly does the Compassion Trial test?" Maria asked. "How species treats others. Many great civilizations destroyed themselves because they had no care for others." Alan noticed the Luminals watching their table. Unlike the Drakari, the beings made of light seemed curious rather than hostile. One of the Luminals floated over. It had no clear shape, just a soft glow that pulsed when it spoke. "Your species did well in the first trial," it said in a voice like wind chimes. "We did not expect such creativity." "Thank you," Maria replied with a slight bow. "We have much to learn from all of you." The luminal's glow brightened. "Perhaps, or perhaps we have things to learn from you. Humans are new, but you see patterns others miss." After the luminal left, Jack looked confused. Was that thing being friendly? "I think so," Olivia said. "Not everyone here wants us to fail." The next morning, they gathered for the second trial. This time, the head judge explained they would enter simulations of difficult situations. Each team would face scenarios where they had to make choices that affected others. "The goal is not clear in this trial," Trill warned. "Be true to human values." The human team entered their door and found themselves in what looked like a village struck by disaster. Buildings were damaged, and people from many alien species wandered around looking hurt and lost. "What do we do?" Ben asked. Maria took charge. "We helped them. All of them." They split up. Jack organized the stronger aliens to clear rubble. Olivia figured out how different species communicated to understand their needs. Ben used his engineering skills to repair shelter and create clean water systems. Alan helped the injured with the limited medical knowledge he had. Maria coordinated everything, making sure no group was left out. In the middle of their work, a new problem appeared. A group of Drakari entered their simulation. Instead of helping, they took resources for themselves and ignored the suffering around them. Weakness should not be protected, Vexnar told Elen when they crossed paths. "Let the strong survive." Later, the simulation changed. Now the humans had to choose between saving a village of peaceful aliens or securing an advantage in the next trial. It was a test of their priorities. "The choice is clear," Maria said. "We saved the village." They worked together again, and as they completed their rescue efforts, they saw the luminals doing the same in their simulation nearby. The light beings nodded to the humans in what seemed like approval. In the final scenario, Alan found a wounded Drakari soldier hidden among rubble. No one else saw him. The Drakari looked at Alan with hatred and fear. Alan could leave him, and no one would know. It might even help Earth's chances if the Drakari team lost a member. Instead, Alan bandaged the soldier's wounds and helped him to safety. "Why help enemy?" the Drakari asked weakly. "Because that's what humans do," Alan replied. When the trial ended, the teams returned to the main dome. The head judge announced the results. The luminals took first place. Earth came second. The Drakari finished near the bottom. Vexnar was furious. "This trial is meaningless. Compassion is weakness." The head judge's many eyes blinked slowly. "Yet this weakness has helped two young species outperform your ancient empire today." Elen noticed several conclave observers talking and pointing at the human team. "What are they saying?" he asked Trill. "They discuss human anomaly. Say Earth too primitive to do so well. Some think you cheat. Others think something special about humans." "We're just being ourselves," Olivia said. "Yes," Trill replied. "That is what worries them." That night, Alan saw the wounded Drakari he had helped. The soldier gave him a small nod before quickly looking away. "We're making an impression," Maria said. "Both good and bad." "2 trials down," Jack said. 3 to go. "And we're currently in second place overall," Ben added with pride. Alan touched the artifact fragment in his pocket. It felt warmer than before, almost like it was pleased. As the Earth team prepared for the 3rd trial, Jack noticed something strange. He saw a conclave official meeting secretly with Commander Vexnar. Money or something like it changed hands. "I think the Drakari are bribing the judges," Jack told the others when he returned to their quarters. "That would explain a few things," Maria said. The Drakari seemed very confident despite doing poorly so far. Trill arrived to take them to dinner, and Alan decided to ask their guide directly. "Trill, is it possible for competitors to influence the trials?" The small alien's feathers flattened against its body, a sign of distress they had learned to recognize. "Not supposed to talk about this," Trill whispered, looking around nervously. But Earth team should know. Conclave, not as fair as it seems. Some officials take bribes from Drakari for many years. So the competition is rigged? Ben asked, his face showing his disappointment. Not completely, Trill said. But Drakari have advantages. They know trials in advance. Get easier challenges sometimes. Why are you telling us this? Olivia asked. Because Trill like humans. You different. Help others. Not just think of yourselves. That night, as they prepared for bed, Ben was checking the equipment they would need for the next day's trial of courage. Suddenly, he noticed something on his scanner. There's another signal coming from the artifact fragment, he told Alan. It's not just sending out a basic message anymore. It's transmitting complex data. Olivia joined them, using her communication skills to help decode the signal. It almost looks like a history, records of civilizations, most of them extinct now. So this isn't just a key to enter the competition, Alan said. It's a library of some kind. Before they could discuss it further, Trill rushed into their room, clearly agitated. Come quick. Something wrong with tomorrow's trial setup. The team followed Trill to the testing chamber where the courage trial would take place. Ben and Olivia began examining the equipment while the others kept watch. Someone changed the safety protocols. Ben said after a few minutes, if we had gone in without checking, it could have killed us. The Drakari? Jack asked. Most likely, Trill said. They see Earth team as threat now. Ben fixed the sabotage, but the incident left everyone feeling uneasy. On their way back to their quarters, they encountered Vexinar in an empty hallway. Enjoying the competition, humans? The Drakari commander asked with a cruel smile. We know what you did, Alan said, stepping forward. Sabotaging equipment, bribing officials. Is that how the mighty Drakari compete? Vexinar laughed. You understand nothing. The Drakari have ruled through strength and cunning for millennia. The Conclave is our tool, not the other way around. What do you mean? Maria asked. The contest of sovereigns has always been a show. The Drakari Empire controls most of the Conclave officials. We allow other species to participate to maintain the illusion of fairness, but the outcome is decided before it begins. Then why are you worried about us? Jack challenged. Vexinar's scales darkened. Because you carry something that does not belong to you. That artifact was not meant for primitive hands. Alan touched the fragment in his pocket. What is it really? It belonged to a species that challenged us long ago. The ancestors. We destroyed them, but their knowledge was hidden. That artifact contains secrets that could threaten our control. So you placed it on Earth, Olivia said, understanding now. As a trap, you wanted to find any remaining pieces. And you led us right to it, Vexinar said. But you surprised us by qualifying for the contest. No matter. You will. The next morning, Alan told the team what Olivia had discovered about the true purpose of the contest. So we're not competing to be rulers, but caretakers? Jack asked, sounding confused. Yes, Olivia explained. According to the artifact, the Conclave was created to find species worthy of protecting the Nexus, not controlling it. What's the Nexus? Ben asked. It seems to be some kind of hub that connects all galaxies, Olivia said. The ancestors built it, but they needed someone to watch over it after they were gone. And the Drakari have been eliminating any species that might challenge them for control, Maria added. For thousands of years. After surviving the Courage trial and the Resourcefulness trial, the Earth team had moved up to second place overall, behind only the Luminals. The Drakari had used their influence to remain in third place despite their poor performances. Now only the leadership trial remained before the final challenge. Maria had been busy gathering allies among the other competitors. The Luminals had agreed to work with the humans, as had 3 other species who suspected the Drakari of corruption. We need to expose the truth during the leadership trial, Maria told them. It's our best chance to gather everyone's attention. On the day of the 5th trial, all remaining teams gathered in the Grand Hall. The head judge explained that each team would be tested on their ability to lead others through a crisis situation. As the trial began, the Earth team put their plan in motion. Ben had created a device to amplify the artifact's power, using parts he had collected during the resourcefulness trial. Remember, Alan told the others, we only get one chance at this. Inside the simulation, teams were faced with a scenario where different alien civilizations were fighting over limited resources. Each team had to find a way to bring peace and unity. The Drakari solution was simple. They conquered everyone and took control by force. The Earth team took a different approach. They brought representatives from each group together and listened to their needs. Then they found ways for the different groups to help each other. While Maria led the peace talks in the simulation, Alan prepared the artifact. With Ben's device attached, it glowed brighter than ever. Now, Alan said, activating the device. A beam of light shot upward, breaking through the simulation. Suddenly, all teams could see each other, and the barriers between their separate challenges fell away. The artifact projected images into the air for everyone to see. The history of the conclave, the true purpose of the contest, and evidence of the Drakari's crimes against countless species. This is what has been hidden from you, Alan announced to the stunned crowd. The contest of sovereigns was created to find worthy caretakers for the cosmos, not conquerors. The Drakari have corrupted this purpose for their own gain. The images showed the ancestors, a peaceful species who had created the Nexus as a way for all intelligent life to connect and learn from each other. It showed how the Drakari had destroyed them and taken control of the conclave. Lies, Vexnar shouted, drawing his weapon. This human spreads falsehoods. But the evidence was too clear to deny. Other conclave officials began arguing among themselves. Some admitted to taking bribes from the Drakari for centuries. The head judge's many eyes blinked rapidly. If this is true, then the sacred purpose of the conclave has been betrayed. Vexnar saw that he was losing control of the situation. Enough of this. The final trial will settle everything. The Drakari will prove our supremacy once and for all. The head judge seemed uncertain, but nodded. The ancient rules must be followed. The final trial will proceed as planned. What have we done? Jack asked quietly as chaos erupted around them. We've shown the truth, Maria replied. Now we have to finish what we started. The head judge raised all 6 arms for silence. The leadership trial has shown unexpected results. Due to these revelations, we will proceed directly to the final challenge. All remaining teams will participate. May the worthy prevail. Trill found the humans as they prepared to leave. Be careful. Drakari very dangerous now. They have nothing to lose. What exactly is this final challenge? Alan asked. The heart of creation, Trill whispered. At center of artificial planet, most dangerous trial of all. As they left the chamber, Alan noticed the artifact glowing with a pattern he hadn't seen before. It seemed to be pointing the way forward, like a compass. Whatever happens next, he told his team, we face it together. The final challenge began with all remaining teams transported to the surface of an artificial planet. It looked like a barren wasteland with strange rock formations under a purple sky. In the distance, a tall mountain glowed with blue light. The heart of creation is at the center, Trill explained before leaving them. First team to reach it wins the contest. Good luck, humans. Alan studied the artifact fragment, which now pulsed in rhythm with the distant mountain. I think it's trying to guide us. Then let's follow it, Maria said, but carefully. The Drakari will do anything to stop us now. The human team set off toward the mountain. The journey was dangerous. The ground sometimes opened beneath their feet. Strange creatures attacked without warning. The air itself sometimes turned solid, making it hard to breathe. This trial combines all the previous ones, Ben observed as they stopped to rest. We need intelligence, courage, compassion, resourcefulness, and leadership to survive. They saw other teams struggling with different challenges. The luminals moved quickly across the terrain but seemed weakened by dark areas. The Axio mind worked together perfectly but moved slowly. After several hours, they reached a wide canyon blocking their path to the mountain. There was no way around it. "We need to split up," Jack suggested. "I can lead some of the other teams against the Drakari to buy you time. Maria should come with me. Her diplomatic skills can help keep our allies united." "Ben and I will go with Alan to the heart," Olivia said. "Ben can help with any technical challenges, and I can communicate with whatever we find there." They didn't have long to debate. In the distance, they could see the Drakari approaching, armed with weapons they shouldn't have had in the competition. "They've abandoned any pretense now," Maria said. "This is a direct attack." Jack nodded. "Go. We'll hold them off." Maria gathered their allies, the Luminals, and 3 other species who had joined their cause. Together, they formed a line between the Drakari and the path Alan's group would take. "Be careful," Alan told Jack and Maria. "Just make it count," Jack replied. Ben had been working on a device to amplify the artifact's power. "This should help us find a way across," he said, attaching it to the fragment Alan carried. When activated, the device created a bridge of solid light across the canyon. The 3 humans crossed quickly, the bridge disappearing behind them. As they climbed the mountain, Ben was hit by a stray energy blast from the battle below. He fell, badly injured. "Leave me," he gasped. "You have to reach the heart." "No one gets left behind," Alan said firmly. Together with Olivia, he helped Ben continue up the slope. At the top of the mountain, they found a cave entrance pulsing with blue light. Inside was a spherical chamber with a floating crystal at its center, the heart of creation. But Vexnar was already there, having used a secret path known only to the Drakari. He held a weapon pointed at them. "So close, humans," he sneered. "But the Nexus will remain under Drakari control, as it has for millennia." "This was never about control," Alan said, stepping forward despite the weapon. "The ancestors built the Nexus to connect all life, not to rule over it." "Power is the only truth that matters," Vexnar replied. Alan held up the artifact fragment, which now glowed brilliantly. "This contains the truth. The ancestors chose humans because we understand something you never will. Unity is stronger than dominance." As Alan spoke, the artifact floated from its hand toward the heart crystal. Vexnar fired his weapon, but the beam was absorbed by the growing light between the artifact and the heart. When they connected, the entire chamber filled with blinding light. Ancient figures appeared, holographic images of the ancestors. "You have found your way to us," one of them said in a voice that seemed to come from everywhere. "After so long, a worthy species has come." "We are not worthy," Alan said honestly. "We're just trying to do what's right." "That is precisely why you were chosen," the ancestor replied. "Not to rule, but to connect. Humanity's gift is not dominance but understanding. You build bridges between differences. You find strength in diversity." The light expanded, and suddenly they could see the entire Nexus, a vast network connecting countless galaxies. At key points throughout the network, other artifact pieces glowed. The contest was created to find those who could maintain balance, not impose their will, the ancestor explained. "The Drakari corrupted this purpose. Now you must decide the new path." Alan looked at Olivia and Ben, then at the defeated Vexnar. "We choose cooperation over control. Earth will not be the ruler of the cosmos, but its connector, helping species understand each other rather than fight."